Hello, this lesson is going to be about creating a PowerPoint presentation and changing the background to a picture or to a color or to a texture or pattern. The first thing we're going to do is, once we get into PowerPoint here, is we're going to right click on the actual slide and we're going to go down to where it says Format Background. That's going to open up our Format Background toolkit here on the side. We can do solid film. We can change the color of the background to be any color that we want just by clicking on a color over here in solid film. We can also do gradient film, which has different lines. You can set it up in whatever way you want to set that up. You can move these sliders and change where those lines end up. You can even come here and change the color that goes along with your primary colors in this gradient. Next, we're going to look at the pattern fill. This is where you can take a pattern and make the background any kind of pattern that you would like to make it. You can change the colors of this as well. Both of the colors are changeable, and you can change the different patterns that show up. If you want to make it a little bit different, you can do like that. The major one we want to focus on, though, is picture or texture fill. This is where you're going to use a picture as your background image in your presentation. This can make your presentation really stand out and make it a lot more interesting to view than most boring PowerPoint presentations. First, we'll start with a texture, and this is just some examples of some textures that you could put in the background to make it look the way that you would like it to look. The pictures, though, are a little bit different. If we go here to where it says Insert Picture From, if we click on File, then we'll have pictures come up that are in a file that we can insert here as our background. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm going to choose the Cowboys picture, their logo. I'm going to insert that as a background. That's going to be my first slide. Now I'm going to create a new slide, and I'm going to go back to Picture or Texture Fill. There is a way that you can insert the picture as a copy as well, kind of copying and pasting it. So we're going to search for wolf with moon in Google, and we're going to come up with some images. And we're going to choose this one right here because this is an interesting picture. One thing I need to tell you before we get into this is if you're going to use a picture as the background, you want to make sure that you use the picture once you've clicked on it and opened it up. If you try to use the thumbnail, then it will not come out as clear as it should. If we go here to our picture and we go ahead and insert that, then you can see that it's really fuzzy and grainy, and it's not very clear at all. So what we need to do is go back to our picture and open it all the way up so that it's actually full size picture. We're going to copy that image, go back to the PowerPoint, use that as our background. Now when we pull that up, you can see that it's much clearer and sharper. The lines are much sharper, and it's not all fuzzy. So you want to make sure that you don't use the thumbnail, that you actually click on the picture and open it up. There are several different things that we can do with this once we have our picture on there. We can use artistic effects where we will have different things that show up in the picture itself. And once those are finished loading here, we can make the picture look like this, for example, or something along the lines of this. Or we can even make it look like something like this, and really give it the shading and everything that we would like to have. Once we get into the picture corrections, the third option here, this is where we can really look at, making the picture look exactly the way we want it to look. We can change the color. I can make this an orange picture if I want to, and make it like that, and make it really look the way that I want it to look. I can change the color saturation, and I can make it more orange or less orange, or whatever I want to do. I can also preset with brightness and make it brighter or darker. So that's what I can do once I have that picture in as the background. I'm just going to go ahead and put the original one back in there. And we're going to go ahead and do a couple more slides here. And we're going to add some pictures from files. I'm a big Apple fan, so we'll put an Apple logo in the background. We'll do another slide that has some words on it here, so you can see what that would look like. And one more to really show what this is going to look like as we get this all up and run the actual presentation. So here are our slides. And if we go up to the first one, and we click on to run the presentation now, here we're going to run through the different slides, and you can see we have the beginnings of a very interesting and visually appealing PowerPoint presentation. So thank you for watching my video, and we'll come back with another one soon.